My ex was a multimillionaire, and I learned a few things with dating him.
After messing everything up, you finally learned the hard way.
So dating a multimillionaire is not everything it's cracked out to be. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt because this is my situation, not your situation. But I loved my ex-boyfriend. We were a serious relationship. He was not my sugar daddy. He was an actual boyfriend.
After messing everything up, you finally learned the hard way.
And when I dated my ex-boyfriend, I fell in love with him and also his lifestyle. So falling in love with his lifestyle kind of blinded me into not seeing the reality of the situation, not seeing the reality of what it's like to actually date a high value man. So a lot of women come on this app and they want to date a high value man, but they don't really know what that consists of, okay? And I'm not saying you shouldn't want to date a high value man because I will never lower my standards for anybody. I'm always going to date high standard or high value. I'm always going to date powerful men. I'm always going to date successful men, but I'm not going to lower my values and my expectations just for money. Like, I want the whole thing and I'm going to get the whole thing. But what I realized about dating a successful man is that anything you try to do for him might not be enough.
He had everything. So tell me, ma'am, what exactly did you bring to the table?
So I remember I would just try to cook and clean and just do everything for this man. And then I would be like, okay, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. Like, if I'm out of town, what are you going to do? And he would just laugh it off like, I'll just get a maid. So I started to realize that, like, damn, the things you would do for a broke man would love you cooking, would love you cleaning, because he's not going to find that nowhere else and he's not going to pay for that. But a rich man is just going to outsource that shit. He's just going to get it done from somebody else. So the things that you would expect from a broke boy, do not expect from a rich man, because a rich man will outsource that shit, and that's exactly what he did.
That's definitely a high value man right there.
I would go out of town for like a month. I would go back home and I would visit my family and I would stay there for like a month, and I'd be like, oh my God, he's gonna miss my cooking, he's gonna miss my cleaning. That man literally got a maid. That man literally got a private chef to come cook for him. Like, he didn't care. Yes, he missed me. Yes, he missed my cooking and my cleaning, I'm sure. But it didn't stop him from outsourcing those things. So every time I felt like the little things I could give him, I felt like they weren't enough, and they would never be enough, because he's rich and powerful. He can literally just get it again.
The power of money, it changes everything.
So what I realized about dating a rich man is that, you know, bring nothing to the table but yourself. You know, don't overdo it. Don't try to like constantly provide and constantly do these things. They don't want those things. They just want you to be there. They just want to love you. They just want you to show up. You know what I mean?
The power of money, it changes everything.
You know what I mean? A broke boy's gonna expect more because a broke boy needs more. Broke men need more from you. Broke men are just takers. They just take. Men with money and power, they just provide. That's what they want to do. They want to provide. They don't want you to show up and do all these things. They don't care about that. They just want to love you. So what I also realized about dating a man with money is that your emotional needs might not get met, because they're always going to put their success and their power above you, above their life, above anything, because that is what put them in the position to win, and they're not going to stop that for anybody.
You got it right.
So what I did realize is that, you know, he wouldn't show up and he wasn't present. He was a very great man. He was very loving. He was very generous. He loved me. He helped me in so many ways, but he just didn't show up. He wasn't there for me in my emotional needs. We would be at 5-star dinners and we would be eating steak dinners and he'd be on the phone. Like, he was just always on the phone. I could not get this man off the phone to save my life. And I feel like a lot of our arguments were me trying to save him from himself. Just get off the phone, babe, get off the phone. Like, you know, spend some quality time, be in the present moment. I would like do all these things and try to like preach all these things, but like nothing I was going to preach was ever going to get that man off the phone, because his job and his business came first, as it should, because he's a very powerful man. But you have to know your place when dating a successful man. I could have cried till my face turned blue to get this man off the phone, and he would not have got off the phone. So I wasted a lot of time and I wasted a lot of energy trying to do that. So what I've learned now that I left him and I'm in a different position now, I've learned that like people are going to be who they want to be. Don't try to change people. Don't try to expect people to be something else. If you're going to get with somebody that is very powerful or, you know, a very successful person, just come, show up, just come to the table. Don't try to change it. Don't try to replace anything they're doing, because they have a system and they're not going to change their system for you. You're just going to drain yourself.
A high value man doesn't bend. He sticks to his system no matter what.
Also, what I learned in dating a high value man is that you kind of have to bring yourself back to reality if the situation ends. So my situation ended because I walked away from it, not because he left me. We mutually just ended it. We're still best friends. I love him to this day, but it ended. And I had to bring myself back to a regular reality. You know, I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment from living in a mansion, and I can afford a mansion if I wanted one, but I don't. I'm just a single girl. Like, you know, I'm just gonna vibe out in my little apartment. It's okay. I had to re-humble myself because I got so used to the lavish luxury living, the nice lifestyle. I got so used to it that I forgot what it was like to be normal. And I didn't like that about myself because I grew up with nothing. I grew up really poor and I never had much. So when I met this man and he was gifting me a new car, he was gifting me Chanel, he was gifting me all these nice things, putting me in a nice house, I got blinded by those things and I started to forget who I really was.
You got comfortable, ma'am, and that's exactly where things went wrong.
And when I met this man, he let me have my job. He never stopped me from working. I was still a boss bitch. I'm still a boss bitch. And I'm happy I never stopped working because when I walked away from the relationship because of my values and my morals, I still had my own money. I still to this day make my own money and I'm very successful on my own. So I never let his money blind me from my own goals and aspirations. So if you do want to date a rich man or you are dating a rich man, please do not quit your job just because he could provide for you. Always have your own passions, always have your own money because men are not forever. Men are temporary, women are temporary, everything is temporary. So always have your own bag, always make your own money, always be a boss bitch, and know when to walk away even if there's money on the table. You cannot continue to drain yourself in a relationship even if there's a lot of love there. There could be a lot of love there and there could be a lot of money there, but you might always feel disconnected if it's just not meeting your values or your expectations in a relationship. People grow apart. Just because you were once together and you once loved each other and you once shared the same values does not mean you're always going to share the same values. Him and I shared the same values when we first met. We both liked to party. We were both young. We were both like making a lot of money and we were wilding out. And then throughout the 4 years of the relationship, I started to grow up. I started to grow out of those habits and that lifestyle and he didn't. So it just wasn't aligning and it wasn't working and the money was not enough for me to stay. So what I'm trying to say in conclusion is if you want to date a man with high value or a lot of money, just know the territory it comes with. Don't try to change them. Don't try to bring a lot to the table because whatever you bring to the table, it might not ever be enough. They are going to always want more or need more or buy more because they can do that. So always be yourself. Don't try to offer too much. Just be yourself. Always work hard. Always keep your own bag. Always be a boss bitch and never get too attached to anything or anyone. Remember where you came from and just be a boss. I love you. Bye.